We all try so hard to create a safe little bubble for our babies to sleep in. But sometimes there are hidden dangers we just might not see. A recent, really important CDC study just brought them to light. But the good news is, that same research gives us a clear roadmap to protect our little ones. I think we need to talk about that quiet fear that sits in the back of every new parent's mind. You know the one. It has you tiptoeing to the crib in the middle of the night, just to put a hand on their chest and watch them breathe. Sudden unexpected infant death, or SUID, is the official name for these tragedies, and it affects about 3,400 families every year in the US alone. But this isn't about fear. This is about empowerment. Because a landmark study didn't just show us the risks, it lit up a path to safety. Researchers looked at thousands of devastating cases and found a clear, undeniable pattern. The vast majority of these deaths were preventable. And here's the part that really stopped me in my tracks. An astonishing 76% of these tragedies involved more than one unsafe factor. It's not usually one single mistake. It's a perfect storm, created by a few seemingly small choices that combine to become deadly. So it isn't usually just one thing. It's a combination of risks, hiding in plain sight. The study paints a detailed picture, showing the biggest danger comes from where a baby sleeps. But from that picture, we can pull the solutions. So I've taken all of that science and broken it down into 8 critical, evidence-based shields. Think of them as layers of armor for your baby's sleep space. By the end of this, you'll have a real, actionable checklist to make your home a fortress of safety. Let's build it together. Okay, so our first and most powerful line of defense is shield number 1. Back to sleep. Every single time. And this isn't just a friendly suggestion. It's really the golden rule of safe sleep. The data couldn't be clearer. In cases where infants passed away in a crib, what you'd think is the safest place, nearly half were found on their stomach or side. Their position alone turned a safe space into a dangerous one. So you might be wondering, what's really happening here? It's all about one main danger: rebreathing. Here's the technical bit made simple. When a baby is on their tummy, their face can be pressed against the mattress. They breathe out carbon dioxide, but instead of getting fresh air, they can breathe that same CO2 right back in. To picture it, imagine putting a plastic bag loosely over your own head. The air immediately gets stale and dangerous. Sleeping on their stomach can create that same kind of effect. And side sleeping isn't a clever workaround. It's just an unstable position they can easily roll from onto their stomach. But I know the question that's probably on your mind. What if they spit up? Won't they choke? It's such a valid fear. But your baby's anatomy is on your side. Their windpipe sits in front of their food pipe. So when they're on their back, any spit up has to fight gravity to get into the airway. It's actually harder for them to choke. On their stomach, gravity can help fluid pool right at the opening of their airway. Another thing we all hear is, "But my baby just sleeps so much better on their tummy." We get it. A happy baby means a rested you. But here, comfort does not equal safety. The very reason some babies sleep deeper on their stomachs is because they are harder to wake up, and that reduced arousal is actually a risk factor. We want them to be able to wake up if they aren't getting enough oxygen. So this first shield is all about being consistent. Naps, nighttime, every sleep. And it's a message for every single person who cares for your child. The rule is absolute. But getting the position right is only half the battle, because where you put them is just as critical. And the data reveals a shocking truth about the single most dangerous place for a baby to sleep. And that's our neck shield. This brings us to shield number 2. Use a firm, flat, dedicated sleep surface. No exceptions. And a statistic from that CDC study that honestly shocked me was this. Of the infant deaths that happened while sharing a sleep surface, a massive 75.9% of them We're in an adult bed. 3/4 of these tragedies happened in a place many of us see as warm and comforting. It's the ultimate imposter. It feels so safe, but it's not. This is why experts are so insistent. The baby needs their own space. That means a product specifically designed and safety tested for infant sleep, like a crib, bassinet, or a pack and play. These all have to meet strict federal safety standards. The second part of this shield is just as critical. The surface must be firm and flat. A firm surface is one that doesn't indent when you press on it. Soft mattresses, memory foam, and plush toppers are the enemy. They create a little pocket around the baby's face. If the baby rolls, that little crater makes it almost impossible for them to lift their head to breathe. Think of an adult bed like quicksand for a baby. It's soft. It has pillows and blankets. And even if you strip it bare, the mattress itself is a suffocation hazard. Plus, there's the risk of them getting trapped between the mattress and the wall or headboard. So I want to be really clear here. Not for just a minute. Not for a quick nap while you're watching. An adult bed is not a safe place. And the same goes for couches, waterbeds, and beanbag chairs. We know a new crib can be a major expense. If that's a barrier for you, please look up Cribs for Kids programs in your area. Many nonprofits and health departments provide free, safety-approved cribs. It's not about having a fancy nursery. It's just about having a safe one. So you've got them on their back, in their own firm crib. You're doing great. But now we have to talk about what else is in that crib with them. And the answer might surprise you. You have the right position and the right surface. Now for the environment inside the crib. Shield number 3. The sleep space must be bare. The answer to what goes in the crib with the baby is basically nothing. This is where so many of us well-meaning parents get trapped. You walk into a baby store and you're just bombarded by these 10-piece crib bedding sets. They come with a fluffy comforter, a plush bumper, pillows, and toys. They're marketed as if they're essential, but the science tells us they can be so dangerous. The CDC found that soft bedding was a factor in the vast majority of suffocation deaths. Pillows, quilts, thick blankets, stuffed animals, they are all suffocation hazards. A baby can press their face into them and block their airway. They can get tangled. They're just suffocation hazards hiding as cute decor. The only thing in your baby's crib should be a firm mattress with a snug, fitted sheet. That's it. Bare is best. What about crib bumpers? The pads meant to keep a baby from bumping their head? They've been linked to dozens of deaths and were finally banned from being sold in the US in 2022. The risk of suffocation is so much greater than the risk of a minor bump. And those breathable mesh liners aren't recommended either. They can still be an entrapment risk. The crib should just be empty. But how do I keep my baby warm? This is the #1 question. The solution is simple. Dress the baby, not the bed. Use a wearable blanket or a sleep sack. It zips right over their pajamas, keeping them warm without any risk of fabric covering their face. A good rule of thumb is to dress your baby in one more layer than what you're comfortable in. You can feel their neck or chest. If it's sweaty, just remove a layer. Your mission is to do a regular audit of the crib. Things have a way of creeping in. A toy, a burp cloth, a well-meaning grandparent adding a cozy blanket. Just check it every time. A boring, bare crib is a safe crib. We've cleared the adult bed and the crib itself of danger. But there's one place left in the house that's even more dangerous. It's so risky, it needs its own shield. We've talked about the danger of adult beds, but there's one location that's exponentially worse. This is shield number 4. Never, ever let your baby sleep on a couch or armchair, alone or with you. If there is one piece of furniture to declare a no-sleep zone, this is it. The risk is just astronomical. Some data suggests that falling asleep with a baby on a sofa increases the risk of SIDS by up to 50 times. That's 50. The couch is uniquely hazardous. It's a perfect storm of soft cushions, deep gaps, and a tired parent. A baby can easily roll into the space between the cushions or get wedged against the back of the sofa. They can suffocate, silently. And let's be real about how this happens. It is almost always born from pure exhaustion. It's 3 a.m. The baby won't stop crying. You're desperate. You sit on the couch to cuddle them just for a second, and you accidentally doze off. It's an incredibly common scenario, and that's why we have to be so firm about this one. You only mean to rest your eyes, but that deep exhaustion just takes over. The action for this shield is a zero-tolerance policy. If you are tired while holding your baby, please don't sit on a couch or comfy armchair. Sit on the floor, or sit in a hard-backed chair you know you can't fall asleep in. If you feel yourself drifting, put the baby back in their safe crib. Immediately. It is far safer for a baby to cry for a few minutes while you get yourself together than for them to be on a sofa with a drowsy caregiver. Make a pact with your partner. No judgment, only protection. The couch is for sitting, not for sleeping. The risk of sharing a surface is clear, but what happens when you have more than one baby? That brings a whole new set of challenges and our next shield. For those of you with twins, triplets, or more, I know you're in a whole different universe of challenges, and it can create unique pressures around sleep. This brings us to shield number 5. Each baby needs their own separate sleep surface. It's such an understandable temptation. Space is tight, money is tighter, and there's this sweet idea that twins are comforted sleeping together, like they were in the womb. This is called co-bedding, but every major safe sleep group strongly advises against it. The recommendation is firm: one baby, one crib, right from day one. The logic is exactly the same as for not sharing a bed with an adult. When two babies are in the same crib, they become hazards to each other. One can roll over and block the other's airway. They can get tangled up. That cute cuddle can accidentally become very dangerous. We know this is hard. Buying 2 cribs and finding space for them can feel impossible. But each baby's safety is what matters most. Some practical options could be 2 bassinets, which take up less space for the first few months. Mini cribs or portable cribs are also great space savers. Some groups suggest that if you absolutely must put twins in one crib temporarily, you can place them head-to-head at opposite ends. But let's be clear, this is a last resort. It's a lesser of 2 evils option that only works until they can start moving around. So the gold standard, and the only official recommendation, is 1 baby, 1 bed, every time. So we've secured the space, but now we have to talk about the person in charge of that space. And this one can be sensitive. This next shield can feel a little sensitive, but it's so important. It's about the state of mind of the person watching the baby. Shield number 6. The supervising adult must be sober and unimpaired. The CDC study uncovered a deeply troubling connection. When an infant died while sharing a sleep surface, in 16.3% of those cases, the supervising adult was impaired by alcohol or drugs. We can't really dance around this. Alcohol, sedating medications, and illicit drugs all dull your awareness. They make you sleep deeper. You are less likely to wake up, even if a baby is in distress right next to you. If you share a sleep surface while impaired, your ability to sense them is just gone. You could roll onto them without ever realizing it. The risk of a sleep-related death is up to 10 times higher when the adult is impaired. And this isn't just about bed sharing. An impaired caregiver is a risk, period. Your ability to respond to cries or notice if they're in an unsafe position is reduced. This shield is about honest planning. If you are going to have a drink or take medication that causes drowsiness, you must have a plan in place. A different, designated, unimpaired adult is 100% on baby duty. It means reading the labels on your medication, and this also includes extreme fatigue. While exhaustion isn't intoxication, it can impair your judgment just as severely. This is why it is so critical to always put the baby back in their own safe space, especially when you are bone tired. The temptation to bring them into bed is strongest when you are exhausted, but that is precisely when the risk is at its peak. Make a plan before you're in that state. Have the talk. If I take this medicine, you're on baby duty. Agree that no matter how tired you get, the baby always goes back in the bassinet. This isn't judgment, it's a promise. We've talked about the visible dangers. Next up is the invisible one that can affect a family from before the baby is even born. Our seventh shield is about fighting an invisible threat. Shield number 7, create a totally smoke-free zone. The link between smoking and SIDS is one of the strongest in all the research. The danger starts even before birth. Smoking during pregnancy can more than double the risk. Here's how. Nicotine and other toxins can damage the part of a baby's developing brain that controls waking up and breathing. Think of it this way. A baby's brain has a built-in alarm clock that should wake them up if they stop breathing. Smoking damages that alarm clock. So a baby exposed to smoke might not be able to wake themselves up if they get into a dangerous situation. The danger doesn't end at birth. Secondhand smoke in the home dramatically increases the risk, and the combination of bed sharing with a parent who smokes is especially lethal. The toxins aren't just in the air, they are on your clothes, your hair, and your skin. This is called third-hand smoke. When you hold your baby or sleep near them, they're being exposed. So the action here has to be absolute. Quit before you conceive if you can. If you can't, quit as soon as you can. If you or your partner smokes, it must be outside, away from the baby. Then, change clothes and wash your hands and face before holding them. And don't let anyone smoke around your baby. This is a powerful shield you can raise to protect your child's brain and lungs. There are free resources available to help you quit. And this is truly one of the greatest gifts of safety you can give your child. After so many don'ts, our final shield is a powerful do. After a long list of things to avoid, our final shield is a powerful, proactive do. Shield number 8. Breastfeed your baby if you are able. The science is so clear on this. Breastfeeding is a protective shield against SIDS. One major analysis found that breastfeeding for at least 2 months cuts the risk of SIDS by nearly half. And it doesn't have to be all or nothing. Even partial breastfeeding is more protective than none at all. So what's the magic here? Researchers think it's 2 things. First, breastfed babies tend to wake up more easily. As we've seen, that ability to be woken up from sleep is a crucial defense mechanism. Second, breast milk is packed with antibodies that help protect the baby from infections, which can sometimes be a trigger for SIDS. But let's be perfectly clear. This is not about guilt. We know breastfeeding is hard. For many of us, it's a physical and emotional marathon. This shield is about doing what you can. Any amount is beneficial. If you are struggling, please reach out for support. It's also crucial to connect this shield with the others. Many breastfeeding parents bring their baby into bed for night feeds. But while breastfeeding is protective, it does not cancel out the huge risks of bed sharing. The safest way to do it is to have the baby in a bedside bassinet in your room. You get all the closeness for feeding, and then they go right back to their own safe space after. You get the benefits of both. Okay, that was a lot. Let's quickly recap the 8 shields we've built today. 1. Back to sleep, every single time. 2. Firm, dedicated crib, safety approved and all their own. 3. Bare is best, nothing in the crib but a fitted sheet. 4. No couches or armchairs. This is a 0 sleep zone. 5. Separate for multiples. 1 baby, 1 crib. 6. Sober supervisors. No impairment from alcohol, drugs, or even extreme fatigue. 7. Smoke-free zone. Protect them from that invisible danger. 8. Breastfeed when you can. A powerful, proactive shield. These 8 shields aren't just guesses. They come from the heartbreaking data of over 7,500 real lives. They show us the dangers, and they give us the power to fight back. The study showed us that nearly all of these deaths happened in unsafe sleep environments. And that means that by reversing those factors, by putting up these shields, we can create a profoundly safe space. As a parent, you would do anything to protect your child. This knowledge is your power. After this video, walk through your home. Audit your baby's sleep setup. Have these hard but important conversations with everyone who cares for your child. If you found this helpful, please share this video with a new or expectant parent. One share could mean one more baby sleeps safely tonight. And subscribe for more evidence-based parenting that helps cut through the noise. You have the knowledge. You have the tools. You can do this. Sleep safer, starting tonight.